Hello, hello, hello. This is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and this plethora of people have joined us this evening to play a silly game of fantasy make-believe, smash stuff, and run away with all their goodies, otherwise known as Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to get to them in a split second, and it really is going to be short because Roll20 is our virtual tabletop of choice. The vast majority... whose cameras are out of sync?
Varen and Vera swapped.
Okay. Poof. Fixed? Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
Cool. So, Roll20 is our virtual tabletop of choice. Most of the art, the character art was done using Hero Forge. In fact, I think maybe all of it in this, all of it in this episode. The rest of the art is from Storm King's Thunder, whose plot we touch every once in a while. This is actually one of those once in a whiles coming up right away. First of all, huge shout out to chat before we even started. 1,000 sparklies, thank you. Appreciate it very much. And other than that, let's quickly get to these people. There's so many of them. Oh my goodness. Sarah, what are you doing?
So I have my channel Tangor Productions, where hopefully I'll be posting stuff soon. And I'm also working on a really cool project called Bravely Broken. I can't give you much more than that about it. So
that's legit.
Move on.
You are working on. So yes. Next in line, Bickford played for us tonight by Bison Stonefist. Where can we find you? Have you streamed much lately?
I didn't stream on Tuesday. I had a nap. I just wasn't feeling
Far
it.
more productive.
Yep. But normally, yes, I stream Tuesday nights, 6 p.m. Pacific on my channel. I pretty much just stream whatever. Lately it's been Fall Guys. Sometimes it's been Cyberpunk. But, you know.
Awesome. Thank you. Next, because I'm just going around the Zoom channel. Ruth, hello. Thank you for coming and joining us this evening. Do you have, what other projects are you working on? You're muted.
Driving, thank you.
So, well, thank you for joining us then. We will just move. I'll just skip right along. I said I was going to do this fast. You got a chance, and then you're done. Rory is next, new to the channel, although we have streamed your elbow before. So welcome to the show. And where else? I know you have like a social media presence. Where can we find you? Links over there in the chat.
I'm gonna be on Instagram mostly. Not quite as many posts as of lately, but there. Spotify, I'll drop that in the chat because that's the most important thing.
That's the one.
My music there, and also got a couple projects in the works with a fellow streamer friend of mine. So stay tuned for that, most likely on Instagram.
Excellent. Very cool. Keep us in touch with that. I'm going to skip over to the end here quickly. Solar Dasher, hello. Hi. I dread. You know, I don't know if you noticed. I didn't even ask last week, but did you stream?
No, I was with you last night.
Oh, I meant like yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, you're that's fair. That's fair.
General, no.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I'm gonna try and start streaming on Saturday nights, either Fall Guys or Fortnite, something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
But you can always catch me in our Discord.
Yes.
I actually have it back on my phone now, so I'm able to see the notices.
Thank you for popping it up there as well. And that brings us to another guest for this evening. It's been, I was going to say it's been a long time since we played, and that's true. We met just a little while ago. But thank you for joining us, Noctum Sky. Thank you so much for coming with us. What are you guys up to over there and elsewheres?
You can catch me personally. One, it's awesome to be back. I love playing in Kevin's games always. You can find me at Noctum Sky on YouTube. I'll throw that link in the chat where I do gaming content, a little bit of everything. I played Sucker for Love. That was a lot of fun. That's got to be my favorite series so far. But I've been doing other stuff too. But if you want to see me do more tabletop stuff, you can always catch me over on the Mercenaries of Mischief channel. They're awesome. Had a fun time playing my last Warlock over there. We just wrapped that campaign up though, but they've got some new stuff coming down the works. So keep in tune for that.
Awesome. But that's enough about everybody else. Let's do what we came here to do. Let's take these wonderful people and hurl them quite literally in this case, given the chapter name. Not the one on Twitch, the one in the book. I told you we used part of the book. I used the whole chapter name. They're about to be engulfed in the maelstrom. When last, though, we left our group, 4 of them, Idicus, Bigfrid, Cain, and Beowulf, had just, well, literally brought down a mountain. A Yarfolk village, a 15-layer iron mine, a half-built Vorendod, obsidian magical sculpture of a giant god, and all. Almost forgot, the forge, and the other forge, and a lot of stuff. All still collapsing behind you as you walk away. To be reminded also, far to the north, there's still an ongoing battle between an ancient red dragon and a composite giant that stands over 60 feet tall. You just walk away from another one. What do the 4 of you, you've got the conch in your hand, what do? You realize someone's going to have to attune to this. One of you is going to have to commit.
Fortitude.
Walking away. You hear something? Nope, absolutely not. Not us. Nope.
That wasn't our fault. That was the elder god that fucked off on us.
We're going to change this group's name to Not Our Fault.
Who has the conch right now?
That's a very good question. Who grabbed it?
Beowulf can hold on to it.
Okay, I think so. I think that made sense. Yes. So yeah, it's a perfectly normal looking seashell.
Bigfrid looks to Cain and Idicus. So me and Beowulf were kind of stuck where we were, so we didn't find shit. Do either of you know how this thing works?
Can I stop you there for a second? Because I forgot kind of one absolutely positively like major sort of kaboom plot point thing. The reason that you are not in the mountain falling apart is because your companion Zulthus swallowed you, teleported out of that incredibly deadly space, and could not contain all of you, and exploded, sacrificing themselves to save your life, as far as you know.
Bigford's surprisingly nonplussed about that. Zulthus has taken off before.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else did this. 2 gods, brother. I got 3. I've gained 2 since this campaign has started.
Don't start playing top trumps with that. Idicus is a god in another campaign, so
that's true.
And actually a god in the future of this one. So, yes, I heard an
Well, if we're done.
Yep.
With the
Yes. The compassion is
Okay.
done. You play.
Cain responding to Bigfrid. We'll just they kind of looks like a horn.
Mm-hmm.
Blow it,
Bill?
maybe.
Sorry.
Oh no, I just finished.
Yeah.
You're good.
Okay. So Beowulf, since he is actually holding the conch now, he's just gonna sit down on the ground, Indian style, and just focus on it and try and figure out if he could figure it out how to use it. I mean, he has a hand drum that he uses.
Yep.
So he has a little bit of instrumental proficiency. I'm gonna say tiny bit.
Yeah.
He's not a bard though.
Yeah.
So
Not a problem. You can attend to it. No problem.
He knows hot cross buns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a conch, that would be a challenge. But yeah, you can. you very, very quickly realize this isn't about technically putting your lips in the right place and blowing. It's going to take more than that. It's going to take some sort of bond, almost like bonding with this. You really have to start thinking about what you mean to accomplish when you blow this. You don't know where it's going to take you, but why, Beowulf Blackmane, are you going there?
Deep down, when he finally gets down to the source of the issue, as he's looking inside himself and realizes he still knows Giant, of course, and realizes it was somehow or another through a giant healer and Giant somehow, I guess, and his want to help the Giants, especially after they helped him, has grown tremendously. So the reason why he would want to blow on the conch would be because he wants to help those Giants. He wants to get the ordering correct so that the Giants will stop fighting each other.
Something bigger than you, something heroic, something epic, something giant-sized. Perfect. And with that, I hereby technically bypass the required half an hour. You feel it in your hands. You feel the conch start to grow first. It's bigger. It's going to turn into a giant-sized conch. And how are you going to deal with that? Except you start, in your mind only, start to grow with it. And soon there's a 22-foot tall Bigford standing there with a conch of appropriate size.
Beowulf.
Damn it! Every time. Beowulf standing there, the wind blowing, clouds wisping around. You're so tall, it's like you got an atmosphere, and in your hands this glowing pale blue transparent conch. The rest of you just see Beowulf stand tall with this thing. What do you do, Beowulf?
So you were cutting out a moment there on my end. Did you just say what do you do?
Yes, what do you do?
Maybe there's too much downloading here, but all these things, look at it. Even though he's deep, dark, and way black clothing and everything, still looks the color blue.
You are breaking up really, 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 really bad. In fact, you've now frozen entirely and we can't hear you. I hate to do this, but blow the conch, don't blow the conch.
He's gonna...
I think we've lost him entirely.
Yeah, I think we've completely lost this. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's anything coming back. Okay.
I think they were trying to say blow.
I think so, but there was a whole thing before that. So, well, we can retcon it if we have to. In their mind, they're 22 feet tall. They've got this conch in their hand. It turns pale, translucent blue. They reach back and you guys just see Beowulf stand up and it just starts to vibrate everything around you. There's a bluish bubble, the same color as that transparent horn that surrounds all of you and starts to spin. You feel yourselves ripped, not into your individual components, because I use that sentence way too often. The water, in this case, is sucked out of your system, and the rest of it just goes with. And this sort of slurry composing the four of you starts to move across the realms. The camera cuts to one of those high-speed over-the-ocean passes, where you can hardly see the ocean, the waves, just as you're going over top of it. An island goes by, a cloud, everything's so fast that you can't see it. And then it almost overflies, it almost misses a huge vortex. half a mile wide, spinning and swirling. You watch first one ship, and then on the other side, completely unconnected, another ship down the inside of this tunnel. Down it goes. The camera watches for a moment, hovers, and then follows. But it follows right down the middle in the place that has no water, in that space in between the roaring and the screaming and the howling and the breaking up of ships all around them, and through a knot in the water and out the other side. The camera spins and looks back up. Those ships come through shattered into pieces. Almost everything on board dead. A few of the bodies that hit the pool below move, and almost of their own volition, with no real control, crawl towards the shore. Varen and Verath, you are on separate ships, for whatever reason, passing across the supposedly tame oceans of this part of the world. After brief shoutings and screechings and pointless goings on, your ships went down. You watch them torn asunder around you. You have no idea why you're alive. Maybe it's because of your gods, patrons, whatever it is that you choose to believe in, but you are. You look up, it's like looking up a funnel. It's 1,000 feet to the surface. And you look around you, and you're in a huge chamber, torn out by the underside. If you think of the vortex comes down like this to a point, and then there's that sort of knot. And from there, it's like a sprinkler head. It hits and then just sort of, it loses all this vertical power and just pours into this huge chamber behind you. At this point, the water's so clear, you can see a huge grate at the bottom that this water runs away through. You've kind of instinctively crawled up on the shoreline. Ahead of you, an archway. But it's 60 feet tall. You can hardly hear. In fact, you can't hear each other. There is millions of gallons of water pouring through behind you. What do you do?
We can't hear each other.
Nope.
So I'm sure there's like some attempts at communication, some gesturing, and once, just like, and when that doesn't work, I guess my first instinct, if I can't hear in here, is to move towards this large archway to try to get to a point where I can at least communicate with whoever this person is that I ended up at the bottom of this with.
Yes. I'm just going to do this so we can see what you can actually see. Now, up here, just briefly, just so the audience can see, because as soon as I click here, it's going to go away. But up in this region here, you can see 3 pillars. These things are this wide. It looks for all the world like those things they put to keep you from taking your shopping cart down various aisles. But each post is this big around, 20 feet tall, and solid rock. You can easily walk between them. So go ahead and move yourself towards the sort of up into this space here. At that moment, Verath, you see him stop trying to communicate and just turn and walk, heading into this open area.
And I'll gesture too, like as I'm doing it, I'll be like.
Oh, as you do so, as you gesture, what is just as Verath, you kind of rub the water out of your eyes and look up. What does Verath see, Varen?
Varen is clad in plate armor, full plate, heavy, but he's also covered with that armor. It's all very like earthy tones, and it's covered in like a thick lichen and Spanish moss kind of deal. So it's probably soaked and just dripping at this point. But he's got that. He also is holding himself up because he's so waterlogged, just with a staff that is like a dark wood, and it comes up and ends in a gnarled hand.
Just so everybody knows, I'm going to give Solar a chance to pop back in here before I start messing with cameras. We'll give him a couple minutes. I know to be honest, I'd also know most of you basically treat this like a podcast and you're not actually watching it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But thank you for your time. We'll give you a couple minutes, and if not, then I'll mess with cameras. But until then, let's just go with what we've got. So, yes, that's what you see, Verith walking away from you into this massively scaled area.
Okay. I'm just gonna get up and kind of use the small bottom spike of the glaive that I had as like a bit of a walking stick as I kind of just stumble forward towards this archway.
Yeah, so as the water pours off of you, that camera that followed you in here in the first place kind of swoops in over the water and has a look. What do you look like?
Verith is a tall male humanoid figure. He's got this very pale, almost like completely white skin and similar color of hair, a bit more of a light gray. He's clad in this kind of pretty like plain black outfit with some chainmail on top of it, and then a large like open cloak. And while he was on this ship, the hood was probably up, but it is now around his neck and also with a couple holes in it. So he's
absolutely.
There's a couple holes in that hood, and he's carrying this very large glaive that he's currently using as a walking stick.
But you're following this unknown person. You haven't asked names yet. You couldn't speak to each other, but you follow in that direction. So I'm just going to take the liberty of moving you to there so you guys can see. The room that opens up in front of the two of you it's hard to imagine. I'm just going to, again, show this. Yeah, all you guys can really see, you've both got 60 feet of dark vision, right?
Yes.
Okay, so all you can really see is this pool in front of you. It's definitely saline. It smells like salt water, like the ocean behind you. And then you can tell the room's much, much bigger than this from the echoes that are coming back. And way off in this sort of area over here in the darkness, you can see the floor is glowing, but only parts of it, like a rune or a circle is starting to glow on the floor. Here, as soon as you step between those posts, it's almost it's acoustic. It's not magical, but once you step past it, all of a sudden you can hear again. So you could speak to each other.
Oh. Well,
Are you good?
I guess. I mean, I'm alive.
That's all we can hope
counts for something.
That's great. What? I was on a ship. I'm soaked. Like what? Do you know where we are? Are you okay? Do you need and I kind of just look him over vaguely to see if he's obviously hurt.
Nope, no damage. Yay! You're back.
Yay.
Cool.
I will say,
it's okay. Yeah, you guys go ahead and continue your conversation. I'm going to make sure everybody's in the right windows.
Looks like it.
So one thing that Varen notices as he just looks up and down my guy here, he's got this very strange mark over his right eye. That's it almost looks like a large burn with this slightly red outline. The skin is darkened. It's kind of diamond shaped, but if you smooth it out a bit, roughly covers from the top of his eyebrow to almost in line with his nostril.
My as a player, my warlock is tingling. Is there any chance that I would look at that and think anything of it, or would I just be that's a burn? I don't know.
There's probably a good chance that you'd be able to tell that this is definitely a magic scar.
Yeah.
Okay.
A magic scar inflicted by something pretty powerful.
Okay, then yeah, if you're not hurt, but that's that, I'd kind of lean on my staff a little bit and scratch my head and be like, have you met somebody special too? Like, how did, this is really like rude of me, but what's going on with that? Like, are you good?
It's it's a bit of a long story. If you got time, I mean,
And in the darkness, that teleport circle, which is clearly what it is now, starts to glow up and fade again, and then it might as well say incoming above it.
in that case, maybe we don't have time.
They briefly look at each other. Beowulf, as though nothing has happened. You were, in your head, 22 feet tall, a giant-sized Beowulf with a translucent, clearly magical conch in your hand, and you went... So, let's go back to there. What do you do?
All right. So he's standing there and looking at the blue glowing conch. What I had stated before when I went was he is very fond of the color black, but he still loves also the color blue. So as he's looking at this, he thinks also about the map on his back.
Yep.
And between the two, he figures out he needs to give it a good blow.
Yep.
So he looks down at the three people with him, tells them to grab on, and once he's ensured that they've grabbed on, he'll blow the horn.
And you... And this pale blue bubble surrounds you in space and time and sucks all the water out of your system and takes everything else with it. And I believe I referred to it as a slurry composing the four of you, swirls down through time and space and is teleported in a most awkward way before being reconstructed in the middle of a truly massive room. I think
The color palette of that slurry? Wild.
very,
Very neutral.
Well, that's what happens when you mix Coke into the Slurpee. Everything just sort of turns into that.
So, who doesn't have their night vision? Who can't see that should be able to? That's usually the case. Everybody good?
I can see.
Beowulf should have 60.
I cannot see 120 feet, I don't think.
I have it set for that. I just saved it again. See?
I can actually see that that far.
Yep, that's 120. You're the only one that can see them on the far side of that pond. Everybody else can only see halfway.
Oh.
This room is massive. Absolutely massive. So yeah, for those watching,
Sorry.
yeah, Beowulf and everybody else can see halfway across this room. You are the only one that can see all the way out there to that pond.
I
and
see
beyond.
a lot more than that. You might have to change that.
I think you might be...
Yeah.
I
Same here.
got,
Hang on.
because
I can see the others on the other
whole
side of
ass
the
room.
pond.
I can also see everything as well, but I can also like just ignore
I can
it.
Oh,
pretend.
that's okay. I think... Oh, I know why. Yeah, that's okay. You should be able to. This whole area is supposed to be lightly illuminated by underwater glowy funguses and lichens and such.
Ooh,
So,
nice.
Which means you can see the scale of this place. It is massive. 4 of you know that this is because it's built for giants. The other 2 can probably tell very quickly, because over here, this is a staircase off to the west side of this room. And the stairs are, they're too big to fit in my camera shot. They're a meter tall each, over 3 feet tall each step.
Dang.
And spiraling up and away from you. From up that tower, you can hear... I was going to say good, but no, it's funnier this way. It's more interesting this way. A powerful female giant voice, singing with great vigor, and accompanied by some very talented musicians. Other than that, there's hallways heading north, east, southeast, and oh yeah, there's a group of people over here, and a group of people over here. Go.
Bickford lands
Hey.
ass up.
Thus mooning the room. Yes.
Just mooning everybody.
Yeah.
And somehow the conch ends up on top of Beowulf's head.
I guess we know what
Kane?
the conch does. Ow.
Yeah.
Kane using twin spell?
Yeah.
What? Okay. Stop me if, like, she wouldn't have enough time to react to this.
Yeah.
But she's gonna, 1, twin spell, 2, cast Featherfall on herself and Idicus.
I love the idea. Before you do it, you've landed safely.
Oh,
So there you go.
saves me a spell slot.
Yes, especially twinning it saves you a spell slot and some sorcery points. You just teleported here. Yeah, you may be a little wonky, like Beowulf said. The horn sort of went from here to here, and Bickford ended up upside down. But that's just weird teleport stuff. But yeah, no damage. But there are these 2 complete strangers across the room, 2 complete strangers across the room. We have a complete stranger next to you, and 4 complete strangers across the room. And a giant singing upstairs. In a place you've never been before. You were just on a boat, all your stuff's gone except for what you're carrying. Go.
Varen to
Kane's gonna
Barrett.
walk. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, you go ahead.
go ahead. It's fine.
I was just gonna say, Varen to Barrett is just very quickly like, are they with you? Are they with you? Do you know them? Is this you?
No, what in the 9 hells just happened?
Oh, Idicus. Yep. I know what's coming. For the first time ever, I know what Idicus is gonna do.
So I know the map says I can't see them,
Yeah, you can.
but I'm just gonna walk up to the
Yep.
2 new strangers.
Yep.
Kane's gonna join.
Actually, I was
Because
gonna say
my-
Beowulf
what
takes
I-
the conch off and tries to grab Idicus, but I guess Idicus is too fast.
What I had been trying to say was Kane comes along.
Yes,
Kane
sir.
was gonna walk up to them anyway. Oh, I'm still in Panview.
I'm just gonna pull some people around. Yeah, you guys can all sort of head over. You head in that direction, following Idicus. Idicus,
Yeah.
give us the show. It's been a while.
So he just walks up to which of you do you think you would be like kind of in front? Kind of look like the leader.
We're standing right next to each other. Like,
There's kind of there's a very there. I mean, I was gonna say they're both scary looking, but that doesn't mean anything to Idicus. Let's roll a die. Somebody roll a D2. On a 1, it's Bareth. And on a 2, it's Varen. That Idicus decides.
I just roll a d4 and you do even or odd.
Sure.
Sure.
All right, it's a 3.
Odds. So that is Vareth.
Okay.
So yes.
Idicus is gonna walk up to Vareth. Hold out what he's holding is like a doll. That has obviously been very fixed in various different ways from different party members. I feel
Yeah.
like by now.
Yep. Oh yeah, all sewed up and muddy and stained and
Yeah. And he just holds it out. Red.
Now,
That's
for
quite nice.
this is a 3-foot tall warforged, wrapped in rags with one glowy eye and one sort of goblin eye, holding out this tattered remains of like what would happen to Pooh in a horror story, and just looking you with incredible earnestness.
Like,
Fred.
I can tell that's quite important to you.
please.
I'm a bit confused still.
Red.
Mm,
Kane, actually, it's speaking, so I assume Kane can do that.
Yeah.
Assume
I'm going to say yes.
Anyways.
And I'll say no if I absolutely positively have to. But the best way to game with me is assume I'm going to say yes, because I almost always do. Quite often before you finish asking the question.
Yeah, a little
Can I?
behind.
Yes.
A little behind
Kane
Idicus,
just-
Beowulf kind of takes out his little doll.
There we go. That's helpful.
Kane,
Yeah.
knowing Idicus, I would think decently well. Just with the way
Oh.
Kane is, just goes, think of it as, wait, no, scratch that. Friends. Kind of,
And right away, right after that, he's like, yeah. And you also see Beowulf, who is, by the way, like a 6.5 foot tall. They look like they're stuck halfway between. They're a werewolf, sort of stuck halfway through transition. They're full wolf, but they're also bipedal and have hands and yeah, holding out their
You
own.
can't really see his head because he's got his hood on, but he has ears in there too.
And they're now holding up a small stuffed version of themselves, which is not as beat up as the original one, but yeah, it's close.
Etiquette, do I have to fix that again for you?
No.
Yay.
Yeah, I guess because of the way we ended up shuffling, I guess I'm like slightly behind Vareth,
Yeah,
and
sure.
just like pop around the shoulder and just like, hi, we just got here. This is we're cool. You seem cool. This is cool. Do you know why we're here? We sunk and everybody died except us. But we didn't do that.
Okay.
we blew a horn.
Cool. Did you do it on purpose?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you know this place.
No.
No.
And there's like visual. Well, he's wearing a helmet. You can probably see like the bottom of his mouth. There's like visual like confusion and like disappointment. Like, okay,
Oh yeah.
We had to
it's
find
canon,
this.
It's canon here that even faceless creatures can show emotion. So yeah, absolutely no worries.
nice.
Um, we went out to find this conch, and I was told why we were finding it, but I can assume it was important. We blew the corn. The corn? I was thinking conch and horn?
Yeah.
Conch and horn? Corn.
Yes, absolutely. We popped that corn for sure.
So
And on it now is written corn.
Yeah. This, as
it's
you
canon,
guys,
I love it.
right there. Those, so pretty much. Let's go with the 4 original members. I need dexterity saves from all of you, please.
Okay.
We're gonna play some decent D&D. We'll roll some dice and pretend we're playing a game. That's a good one. That's fair.
Dexterity save or dexterity check?
A save. You are attempting to leap away from something which I am about to describe after I find out who successfully leapeth and who successfully don't.
11.
Don't fuck me.
Okay. That's
Don't
the
say that
self-curse.
before, that's how
That is
it
the absolute
happens.
self-curse, yes.
It's fine. This is. God. Oh
Ooh. Either so good or so bad you clipped, and we still don't see it. What did you roll? Oh no, and you frozen.
no! 11?
Oh no.
Wait, I have my happy
There you go.
DM
Oh,
roll.
there you go. You do.
Oh wait, that's a charisma
Hang
save.
I have my happy DM
That's a
point.
charisma save. You rolled the wrong one, so forget it. Never
Oh,
happened.
Balls. I'm
roll
so sorry.
Roll dexterity. Never happened.
Never happened.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. Like, really.
Yeah.
Experiencing the chaos firsthand is incredible.
Welcome to Dirty 20 Gaming in all its glory. Oh, that just got worse. Okay, that's all right. That's okay because luckily, this makes perfect sense.
I do still have the happy DM reroll.
You could
thing?
if you want, but before you hurl that token on the table, you're not gonna take any damage.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't know where you got that idea. Anyway, the two that Idicus, I know you're like all roguey and shit, and you could ignore the half the.
Yeah.
But for the purposes of this, Idicus and Kane. So yeah, out of that southern area, a burst of steam. Like a geyser has gone off in that little tiny chamber and it's turned into just a jet that forces out into the room. Some of it is curled right along this wall and kind of like Bickford, you turn and look, and you see it coming, right? You just kind of duck, but it does this weird twisty tornado-y thing as it comes out and skims right along the southern wall, knocking Kane and Iticus into the water.
Fred? Fred? Wow!
Wah! Sploosh! The two of you that just went in the water, give me perception
Sorry,
checks,
I was
please.
mute.
So Kane and Iticus, I need perception checks underwater, please.
8.
8. Nope. Bubbles. That's all Iticus sees. Just bubbles.
New Fred?
My laptop is being slow.
It's all good.
Oh, it's your turn
This is
now.
Well, let's
Par for
figure.
the
Okay.
course.
In that case, Iticus, you said new Fred, and you failed your perception check. You're kind of Fred, and waiting for the bubbles to clear, maybe, because you don't have to breathe. This is not a big deal, right? You're just waiting to see the nice fishies that you're going to Fred up. You look, and you can see a tunnel at the bottom of this pool that heads southwest. So back under, like the same way that this big door is down here. Underwater, there's a tunnel that goes that way.
Wait, who notices that?
That was already Iticus. You, with your 15, noticed that and extremely large fish poops. Like, like a goldfish these are like that. That's foreshadowing, folks. And that was not in the original adventure.
So Kane, with her 2 feeling.
I should be ashamed, but I'm not. Yes, you have 2 feelings now, yes. Speaking, yes, 2 feelings and the locket with Zultus in it. You're wearing it, right? Because Iticus put it on you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can Kane... I don't assume they're too far apart. Can Kane just get Iticus out of the water before she tries to get out?
You're right there. You can easily help each other out. It's not a big deal. This is a crater, basically, so it's round.
Iticus was gonna let himself sink.
Just,
Fine.
yeah,
And if
Two
Kane
was.
doesn't rescue Iticus, Beowulf will eventually jump in there and get him.
okay. Well, we'll have these two first.
Kane is rescuing Iticus.
Okay, so you're reaching for Iticus, and Iticus is just floating down towards the bottom, just sliding down the side of the crater. Iticus, you see Kane coming at you. Coming to save you again. Yeah. They start to try and grab you. What do?
I'm just gonna keep waving because I.
Okay, so you're not going to
This is
resist?
fun. No,
Okay.
I'm not gonna resist.
So,
this time.
Kane, just as you get to the bottom of the pool, you grab them. And you grab Iticus, and as you're kind of looking at them, you can see this tunnel now that heads out clearly into the bigger, you guys haven't been into yet, but you can see it now from here underwater. It goes out into this wreckage-strewn area. And there's no discernible prey creatures in that water. Like, it's a big open space of salt water. There's no schools of fish in it. Something's eating everything out there.
Kane is gonna, with Iticus in hands,
Yeah.
is gonna swim back to the top.
'Kay.
And get put Iticus out of the water first, and then try to get
Absolutely.
it, and then get out.
So, the others of you just stand
Beowulf
there and
will
watch
help-
that, or
Help
yeah.
him up.
Yeah,
Hmm?
Bickford's gonna help Kane get out of the water with Beowulf, and as he does so, he looks over to Varen. Varen, I'm gonna have trouble with that.
Varith and Varen? Yeah, you tell me. I thought you thought Bickford and Beowulf was
Beowulf
bad.
We did not plan
Nope,
it. It was a
bees and
very
bees.
no.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
funny
is-
no.
thing.
It's gonna be one of my questions later, but
I am
okay.
hoisted on
Coincidence.
my own hoist on my own petard here. This is what I get
Um,
for not asking people to work together.
Yeah,
I like it better this way, but go.
He looks at them, he's like, okay, so this happens a lot. I'm Bickford, points Beowulf, Kane, Iticus. We're apparently on a quest to fix the Ordning. Care to come with?
Fix the What?
The two of you.
Some
would have-
sort of rule the giants live by. If
Yeah,
when it
fix
doesn't
the
when it
what?
doesn't work, shit happens. If you haven't noticed, a couple of the 10 towns are kind of not towns anymore.
Yeah, the 10 towns are
They
down to
went
about
to-
7.
Yeah.
But yes, you guys would know because everybody in this world. Sorry, Ruth, to cut you off. I just wanted to give you the standard background lore that everybody would have, which is the Ordning is the rules by which the giants structure their own inner culture. As caste-driven as it is, certain species have always outrank other ones. It's to keep the peace, so there's never any fighting. If two groups are fighting, one of them's always superior. That has been broken relatively sort of in the last 2 months, and since then they're starting to. It's been in place so long. They're at that place like a kid that's when they do something their parents don't tell them no for the first time. So all the giants in the world are sort of pushing their boundaries to see what can happen. Some of the offshoots, you might know some of these, you might not. Undead, lich-driven giants, those exist. Wicker Man giants made of like another dozen giants, so the whole thing is 60 feet tall or 70 feet tall instead of 20 feet tall. Those exist. All kinds of goodies.
The giants have steadily been getting larger.
Yes.
That's another thing
And
that's
out of
been
control,
happening.
yeah. So the
let's
two of you
not
would have
forget
been
about
at least
Harshnag
aware
and the
of it.
Dragon Party.
Now,
Kane is kind of just like, what? Because she's just learning about this now too.
yes, yeah,
So she's listening in
that's true.
and is confused because
You're new to this
Kate
plane.
just goes,
New plane, who dis?
so I know there wasn't much time to update me before I got back, but I'm definitely listening as you're explaining things to them.
This is a whole.
Well then.
Yeah, buddy, I clap Vareth on the shoulders. I'm like, whatever you want to do, we're best friends and we've known each other for a long time. So, like,
yeah.
if anything happens to one of us, we
Long
would be
time.
upset, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it sucked that we ended up on separate ships because
I know, but we both
Sucks
survived
traveling apart.
crazy.
Yeah.
Look, I just can't. We're in a hole. I just want to get out. I want to make sure he gets out. Once we get out, I'd be happy to discuss whatever y'all want to do. I'm a plant man. I'm just looking for plants. I got a guy. He does some favors for me. He likes plants. In fact, and I'll kind of like turn around and be like, actually, and I'll kind of scrape some of this moss off the wall and
Yeah.
put it in a little vial and put it in my bag. So yeah, anyway, as long as there's plants, I'm good. But I'm really more worried about him, and me. So whatever we got to do to get out of here. I don't know about the Ordning. I kind of live in the woods, but that's great.
Pickard's like, fair.
Beowulf is remembering how he was once pretending to be a ranger, but that's neither here nor there. He just
That was several
huffs and
iterations
then
ago.
he just kind of huffs. He knows that the steam came from over here, right?
Yes.
So he's just gonna go and take a. He's gonna go and take a look. He still has the conch, but he's gonna put it in his bag and just walk over there.
You bet.
He's still not very sociable with the new people. He's barely starting to warm up to Kane. So 2 new people, he's kind of on edge at the moment.
Absolutely. You go over there and peek into that area. This appears to be a perfectly natural geyser. It's a little bit of mud around the edges in weird colors, but mostly it's just getting ready to blow. You can tell from the way it's carved this niche that it's in. It's entirely a natural phenomenon. And as you watch, you sort of look up and watch the water that came out of this and stuck to the ceiling as it droplets after the steam bath start to drip down into that center pool. So this is the water source for that, as well as being connected to the underbits.
He finds it rather fascinating, of course.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually going to take out a book. He's been slowly at nights writing into it, basically what's been going on.
Yep.
He's going to write down now that he found this beautiful geyser and what it does. in the book, basically ignoring everybody else.
Okay. So, as you do that, the rest of you, the only, well, I mean, there's two sounds. From where you are right now, there's this, just through this opening, this roaring, thunderous boom of the whirlpool. Only two of you actually know what that noise is. The rest of you are just hearing this massive, it sounds like a waterfall, times 100. The only other noise is coming from this huge spiral staircase. Upstairs somewhere, a giant singing poorly.
I would just like to say one thing before we continue. Actually, I think we should move away from this body of water sooner than later. There's a big fucking thing in there. Can we swear on Twitch?
Yes.
Is
yes,
that
you
like
can. This is an
okay?
adult
I was like,
channel.
is that like a
And when I posted
a
on
a
YouTube,
thing?
I clicked the button that it says "not made for children." I would click the button that says "definitely not fucking made for children" if there was one, but there isn't. So yes, feel free.
Ye-
Oh, go ahead.
I was literally just gonna say I'm scooching along the wall at that. I'm like, oh, and I just like kind of get back up against the wall and started scooting to the right, off towards I guess like this main wall next to Vera.
Absolutely. We're not in combat, so feel free to move anywhere around this room, peek down any hallways. Looking down sort of this hallway here, a couple people have passed it. At the end of it, there's a huge stone statue of a giant. There's another one if you go and peek up here. Both of those areas, actually, give me a perception check. Who's over there? Bigford, you're heading into that area. Over to
Oh,
the-
that's me.
over to
Inicus.
the. Oh no, I saw you heading north to the stairs. Bickford's heading east to this
Okay.
other hallway where things are slightly different.
Oh,
18.
that was me.
The doors that you see on this hallway are human-sized. Everything else in this place is giant scale. Those of you that get to the bottom of the stairs, yeah, each one of these they are all one iticus high. Actually, I have just realized each stair is one iticus high, about half of a normal human or elven statured person, but yeah, about 1 meter 3 feet high each step. Bickford, you see the doors down that hallway are human scale. They're only 7 feet tall, which is weird in a 60-foot wall. Like this is just, looks like somebody like Escher, not like MC Escher designed this. But yes, you're muted, so you're being epically bright and no one can hear you. You're still muted, being epically bright and no one can hear you. There we
Yeah.
go.
Like, hey, there's a big red thing next to my name.
Yeah, I wonder what that
That
means.
must mean something.
Hmm.
Yeah, Bickford's going to like, just sort of like, hey guys, I think I found something. And just sort of say that over his shoulder as he realizes everybody's walking.
Who hasn't moved here? Oh, still back where you were.
Vera.
I'm just going to stop right where you are right now. I'm just going to go quickly around. The three at the stairs, the song changes upstairs and a different voice starts to sing. This is a male, I mean, it's giant, so they're all sort of baritones, but this on giant scale, this is still a baritone giant, so this is like rattling your bones, sort of making the dust dance on the floor, sort of baritone bass. Comes from upstairs. Varen, you're still sort of at that portal. Behind you, you hear in the water, and you look just in time to see a black fin about 1 meter tall, 3 feet tall, just cut through the surface and then dive back down.
I was actually gonna poke my head back in there,
Yep.
so I guess I see that,
Yep.
and I'm like, oof. And I look. Are there any bodies washed up on shore by chance?
Oh, many, yes. In various
Okay.
states of disrepair. Many of them recently dead because you guys just came down here on 2 ships and you're the only survivors. So there's probably 50, 60 dead people down here.
So you know that run you do when you get out of the shower and you need to go grab a towel, and it's just that kind of tiptoe run? It's that, but it's incredibly loud because I'm wearing plate. So it's just like clink, clink, clink. And I run down and I reach down a hand and I use Undying Servitude to cast Animate Dead. And I just pull up like, come on, you're coming with me.
Okay.
And I don't know who I grabbed, but their name is Gary now. So
Give me,
and Gary are,
as you do that,
Gary's
give me a
zombie.
dex save for Gary.
all right, Gary, let's do it.
Let's use your dex, because you
yeah,
pulling him out of the way.
gotcha.
Still, you still got your hand on him, so.
Dex save. Boom. That is a 7 for Gary.
Oh,
no, Gary.
You
no.
grab Gary and haul him towards you, and out of the water comes a orca, killer whale. I don't know which name you know them by. The black and white beast slides up onto the beach and grabs at Gary, takes his boot in one hand and slides back into the water. You pull most of Gary after you, still fully functioning as a skeleton or whatever he is, but yeah. The orca and spits out the pointless bones as it falls back into the water behind you.
So yeah, I'll grab him and run back to the room and be like, okay, I found the thing. Also,
Yeah, it's all
Gary.
good. We're all happy. Yeah. Beowulf. The water in front of you starting to
Yeah. He's like,
starting to power up.
nope. He finishes his little thing and he's like, nope. By the time he reaches here, he hears Bigford, so he's gonna run on over here to Bigford.
Okay, so you run out of there, and behind you, you hear it sort of boom, 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 boom. It's going to go off anytime again. The three of you at the bottom of the stairs. What do you do?
I'm
I-
gonna walk to Bigford because he said he found something.
Right. Okay. So yeah, you're heading that direction. Perfect. Go ahead and drag yourself over there. Iticus, yes.
I am headed up those stairs.
Of course you are. Thank you. Oh.
Okay. Kane
Yeah.
goes over to Bigford,
Yep.
sees Iticus
Yep.
going up the stairs,
Yep.
and does not want Iticus to be alone. So
Starts heading
gonna
back,
follow.
which means I'm going to put you. Well, I'm not going to let you move all the way back because I'm going to put you back over here. You're going to have to basically
Okay.
chase. So, right, because Iticus has got a head start now. And I was just going to say, even though these stairs are one Iticus tall, Iticus is a rogue, so this is not a deal. This is just like hurdles. So Iticus up the stairs. A distance behind is Kane, like, oh shit, running up the stairs behind. So for the purposes of that, I'm going to put Iticus over there, and we're going to put Kane sort of on the stairs there. Varith. This Kane walks away. Iticus bolts up the stairs. Kane runs back and bolts past you, heading up the stairs. What do you do?
This is an interesting situation for this this guy to be in. He heard someone say that something was found, and that's a bit more interesting than trying to muscle up some of these massive stairs. So
Yep.
he's just gonna,
Off we go. Yep.
not my problem, head back towards Bigford to see what all has been found.
So go ahead and drag yourself way the heck over there. And Varen, what are you doing?
It's funny because I think it happened at the same time. So I got Gary
Yeah.
and I turned around and was running
Yeah.
over to catch back up with Vareth. And then I get there and I'm like, oh, he's gone. And so I look and I'm like, good idea. You go that way. I'll go this way with
Okay.
whoever this is.
Absolutely perfect. So the three of you heading up the stairs, the other three heading down the hallway. I love it. Always split the party. Let's start in the east with the three of you. Bickford, you found this hallway, so you were there first. What do you do as you move down this hallway? As I said, as you get towards, as you can, I'm just trying to, yeah, from there, perfect. You can see it all. This at the end, that thing's huge. I mean, that's 20 feet across the base. Think of like the queen in chess, but the plinth that it's on is 20 feet across. While this hallway is 60 feet tall, at the end it goes up. And so this statue is actually 100 feet tall. But there's two doors in the south, and they are, even though they take up 10 feet, they're double doors. They're only like 7-8 feet tall. They're human-sized doors.
Bigford's gonna look up to one of the doors and just sort of look at it to see if it's locked or.
It has a very ornate, fancy door lock on it, but it looks stupidly simple. Like it's almost symbolic in its simplicity.
Bigford's gonna wince. He's like, I really hope this isn't trapped.
Knowing you, who knows?
Well, thinking magical traps.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have that ability. He can deal with regular traps.
Speaking of which, are you investigating for traps?
Yes, he's going to investigate for
Okay,
traps.
give me an investigation check.
Investigation.
9. You don't
Nope.
find any traps. Everything you find seems to follow your theory. This is there's probably some sort of ornate key presentation for these doors. Now that you look at it, these doors are really fancy. They're old, so you had to really look, but the leather or the iron banding holding the big wooden slabs together is quite ornately carved. It was just hard to see because it's kind of rusted and gone gray over time. But this is fancy.
It's fancy.
Not secure, but I mean, you're in a giant stronghold. How secure do you need to be, right?
Yeah, like he's gonna open the door.
Okay, you pop that door open, and you see a human-sized room. 5 beds, a round table in the corner. That weird blue thing is a light source. It's kind of a I haven't described these yet. Down here, what passes for a wall sconce is a ball of water about this big. Or sorry, about 5 feet across. I keep forgetting the scale of these maps. It's a ball of water 5 feet across, 25 feet up the wall that glows pale blue, like
That's kinda
a
neat.
torch. This looks like it's guest quarters
Okay.
for
He was expecting
human-sized
servants' quarters.
people. Yeah,
He was expecting service quarters.
no, way too fancy for that.
Shelves or
The ones at the end, yeah, very nice wardrobes, designed, with lots of shelving space and storage. This
And this here?
appears to be that's a table.
yeah. Okay, then this here is a carpet.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is
gonna-
just top quality. So,
Yeah, he's gonna start poking through the wardrobes.
there's a couple socks that got missed because there always is. One bent hanger in the corner. Nobody knows why it's bent in that shape. Nobody knows ever. But it's been a while since anybody was in here.
Okay.
I saw Beowulf headed down the hall. You going to the next room?
Yeah.
I'll just speedily do this and open that door for you because it's the same thing. It's another. This is again. This room that you're in, Beowulf, is a little nicer. I know it looks the same on the map, but it's a little nicer quality. This looks like probably where the diplomats stayed. The one next door looks like where their assistants stayed.
Mhm.
And then you went back into the first room. So that's the 3 of you poking around in those rooms. Let's stop there for a second and cut back the other way. Heading up the stairs. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Iticus, of all the people to see this, Iticus. Let me open up the right page. As you head up the stairs, the music just gets louder and louder because sound works weird in this place. It's almost like it's a movie. The camera swoops along the stairs behind you, speaking of which. You head up into this room. I gotta move you on a map again. I'll forget where you are later. Iticus. Maelstrom Liberty 2. And where do I put you? Okay. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh that evilly. There we go. So, can you now see you're in a circular staircase in the sort of the top right hand or top middle of the map?
Mhm.
Okay. Iticus. In front of you is it's a royal reception hall on a gigantic scale. The roof is 200 feet tall and made out of liquid or solid water. You can see from here up You're half a mile under the surface of, you're 1,000 feet under the surface of the ocean. You can see above you sharks, and you're like in one of those inverted aquariums. Above you, you can see sharks and whales and everything swimming about. But in this room, over by the window, there's a huge crab crouched down, and somebody behind it, a giant behind it with mallets, playing them like a steel drum. That's the accompanying music you've been hearing. There's also two other giants performing, and I'm going to do the show two players thing here. Two females, one dancing, one singing. As you walk into this room, the male voice that was singing earlier has stopped. And the one that is dancing is also providing musical accompaniment on the crab, so they kind of beat out a rhythm while dancing. There's also a number of other varying kinds of giants. These are storm giants, these ones that I just described. That's the top rank. Like when the Ordning is in place, storm is the top of the giants, the best of the best. The top of the top. But there's also in here a cloud giant, a fire giant, a frost giant, a stone giant, and another storm giant female lounging about the place on these various oversized shells they're using as sort of chaise lounge.
Shells Lounge?
Chaise lounge, that's perfect, thank you. I missed that, damn it. There are also two storm giants wearing full plate mail standing guard in this room. Oh, Iticus, you have 6 seconds before Kane catches you. You can hear them scrabbling up the stairs behind you at speed. What? Iticus, my dear. Do you do? Wizards never expected this.
So he kind of stops, looks around for a moment. He's looking for someone who's not really doing anything.
Pretty much everybody except for the two sisters, the one that's singing and the one that's playing the crab, and that's these two up here, along with the crab. So the three up on this ledge that only you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody else down here is just lounging about. And no, I know that nobody in chat can see it, or nobody in Twitch can see it. That's okay. Only Iticus said. Can.
This person, whoever this is.
Ping him again. Sorry.
I don't know who it is.
That one. Okay. Yep.
That's who he's going up to.
Okay.
And in giant.
That's one of the guards.
Oh, it's one of the guards?
Yep.
Scary.
Okay. So that's a guard there. The other guard is down here. And then the four that I described before are across here.
Okay. No hill giant.
Instead he'll go and wait quietly over by the singer. And just kind of have Fred out
the
entire time.
Pad out and
doesn't understand like the importance of this.
Yep, you just walk right into the royal performance. And there's a dung 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 dung. You hear one bad note, and the room just freezes, like nobody's even breathing. And you don't realize until this moment, Iticus, how loud giants breathe until 10 of them aren't anymore, and they're all just looking at you. Just each eye, Iticus, that looks at you, the pupil is as big as you. You have Fred held in both hands like a shield.
And in giant. Fred?
Kane, you get to the top of the stairs just in time to hear. It's in a completely different language, but there's only one thing that Iticus could possibly have just said. to a room full of, and I don't mean just giants. Every one of these is in full regalia. These are the diplomatic wah-wahs of the whole giant nations. Fred in giant.
Kay knows giant, doesn't she?
Yep. That's right. You do.
Do I?
Yes. Yeah, we gave that to you early on. Yep. No,
Oh, I
goblin.
don't have that
we
in
gave
my
you goblin.
thing.
Sorry, we gave
Yeah,
you goblin.
I
speak
so
goblin.
Dr.
Goblin,
Atticus.
that's right,
That's what it
that's
was. So
I
never mind. Yeah, you don't know what it is.
Speak how many languages?
But it's obvious what they've said.
Yeah. No, it's Beowulf.
I speak 5 languages.
Yeah.
None of them are giant.
None of them are giant. So that's what you hit as you get to the top of the stairs. Varen, you went with them as well, right? You went up the stairs, right? You're muted.
Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, I was muted. Yes.
Welcome to the team. Yay.
Mhm.
So I'm going to put you there as well. So you get up there as well. Do you speak giant? Well, no, but you just saw Fred, and this goes up there and goes, Fred, whatever giant is for Fred, yeah. So the two of you can see that, like, they just walked into the coronation, not the coronation, they walked into the Queen's afternoon tea and asked if everybody in the room would like to be friends. Meanwhile, downstairs, in the 2 sets of bedrooms, buzzers start to go off. Bells. I'll say bells. It makes more sense. Just bong, bong, bong. You look up in the corner of the room, and up hidden in the shadows, intentionally hidden, there's these little sort of golden bells that are being rung by a string. The string goes up through the floor.
Huh.
Oh
It
dear.
doesn't sound like an alarm, does it?
Not particularly.
Do any of you have sort of royal background or courtish backgrounds? Anything like that? Like
Aerith
works
most likely would have, like, some.
Yeah, we'll give it to you. That's a summoning bell. If this is, this is the diplomatic quarters. This is like the ding ding meeting starts in 10 minutes bell.
Okay. If I had to take a guess, it would be a signal for some kind of meeting. Can't imagine what.
Beowulf would be a little familiar with the ringing bells, but would it be in this room also where he's in?
Yeah, you guys can both hear it. In fact, you're
Yeah.
close enough to each other, you would have heard Vera's explanation.
Well, he would have known also. He still has that background with the Order of the Lycan.
That is true. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, you'd know a summoning when you heard one.
Yeah.
He was raised as a youth to report immediately when he hears those bells. So
You bet. So you guys charge out.
yeah, he's gonna come out and be like, "Oh man."
And the
They
second the 3 of you
just
step
don't
out into
know.
that hallway, you notice one thing without any rolls at all. The music upstairs stops in one bad note, boing, and then nothing.
Oh shit, I guess.
Oh,
This is Bigford. This is like, yeah, I'm assuming that's like by the time you get to the us at the end, you're already running.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty
Them
much.
big legs.
The others?
I'm guessing that's not good.
No, it's not. We got to get out of here. We got to go to wherever our little friend is.
And
Leave me alone, bye.
the 3 of you take off at a run, scramble up the stairs. Move everybody over now. Now we are all refreshing over there, so it goes.
CSS Captain.
I have not yet put those of you who just arrived on the map. So
so I can't see
there's
nothing.
Bigford. No, Kane's already out there. There
There's
is a
Piano Crab.
Varith, and Varen's already out there, right? 1, 2, 3. No, I didn't put Varen out there yet. Bam. So 5 of you should be in the stairwell. Idicus is on stage, right?
Cannot see nothing.
I'm in the dark
Beowulf
too.
is not in the group yet. There's 2 Varens.
Ah.
And neither of them can see.
Okay, that I can do. That I can just. That's just fixing your token. Yeah, let me find you guys here. All right. Yes, there are two of you. Let's make you go away and fix your token, because
Use mirror image.
dynamic lighting does its thing sometimes, and I didn't. And so, ta-da! Now you can see. So, the four in the stairwell, you can all see?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Still missing Beowulf.
Oh, I still haven't got a Beowulf out there. That's why you can't see. It's very hard to
We
see
are
from me.
professionals.
I am not a professionist. I'm not a professionist in any way, shape, or form. I'm not even doing this. I've got two things open so you don't have to see my notes, and you just did. So, all right.
I am
Fine.
unable to see.
You are also unable to see. Most excellent. This is exactly how this is supposed to work. This is D&D. This is where somebody has spilled their beer on the map.
This is the
yes.
monkey's paw to I have dark vision.
I can see now.
Everybody good now? Yeah. Yay!
I believe I am still missing.
Nope.
Ah. Really? No, I got
see
you
you.
there, but maybe you can't see anything yet. Hang on. If you
I
can
may-
see
Ooh, there's
oh,
a
yeah, there you go.
chest.
You couldn't see anything either. Yep, there we go. Shazam. Bang. Now you can. Ta-da.
There's a chest. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Maybe
Alright.
I'm just not zoomed into the right spot.
It's more or less top dead center, guys, I think. The map where you guys come in. Or no, it's top right-hand side.
I zoomed way far out and found it.
Okay, cool. All right. So, the five of I'm just going to put you all right here so you can see. I'm going to assume, yeah, everybody's move yourselves up there. I'm going to assume that what happened here is you kind of, as you get to the top of the stairs, you just kind of freeze, just like the rest of the room. There are 4 giant diplomats, 3 princesses, and 2 guards, all absolutely frozen in a bubble, a glass bubble under the ocean. You can see the maelstrom outside burning its hole down, sucking another ship goes past the window as you watch. Iticus, I've never made you do this before. Please make a performance? No, you're not performing. No, this is too real for that. What's your go-to stat?
Dexterity.
Dexterity. Roll that, just because I want you to have the best possible opportunity of succeeding.
18.
That's gonna, yeah. Your dexterity is basically what passes for charisma here. So you can imagine something the size of your toenail from the giant's point of view walks up to you and holds up this little tiny thing that's even smaller than them and says in your language, mispronounces the word friend. Friend, and then the little head of the puppet goes off to one side. The 2 singing sort of step back a bit and look down. They're clearly the youngest 2 sisters. They're looking to their oldest sister for advice. The 4 diplomats are actively non-committal. They have frozen. This is not in the protocols. They don't know what to do. They've just stopped. You're clearly not a threat, so the 2 guards are not panicking. Out of the 4
Giant.exe has experienced an unexpected error and must close.
in this utter silence with the 4 of you watching, you hear footsteps coming from the south. Dunk, dunk, dunk. A princess bordering on a queen. A giant 25 feet tall in a full gown. Somehow this gown is made of water and storms and clouds, and it's moving. The hair moves and like a storm is blowing it. The rain washes across the face as Sarissa steps into the room with the scepter on her shoulder casually and nonchalantly, and looks down at you, almost has to peer, but wouldn't dare do so because it wouldn't be regal. And in a booming voice she says, Yes. Friends. And the entire room takes a breath.
So does Bigford.
And Beowulf.
In a handful
Ditto.
of strides, she's not on the map, but I'm not going to put her there either. But in a handful of strides, she
I
walks.
meant to say so does Kane. I was muted.
Yeah,
sorry.
I figured, no problem. She comes across the room from the south, right past these other figures, as though they're not even there, totally ignoring the pomp, the ceremony, all of it. She walks right up to here, where because of the height of this shelf, she's looking you right in the eye. But again, like, her eye is as big as you, so she kind of has to back up a little bit to get you in focus. And she reaches out a hand first, and then realizes that's not going to work, and goes to give you a finger, and says nope, and then finally gives you the baby finger with the greatest gesture of respect, just reaches out to shake your hand.
He'll look and shake shake their hand.
And as gentle as she does this, you kind of come off the floor a couple times, and sort of bump, 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 bump. And when she and you let go at the same time, she looks up at her sisters and says, well, get on with it then. And they start dung playing again, and she holds her hand out like this and invites you to walk onto her palm.
And I'll do it.
Yeah, right out onto her palm. She looks at you again, and now she's completely forgotten where she is. Like, this isn't a princess looking at you anymore. This is a young lady who's fascinated by what she sees in the palm of her hand, and the rest of the world has just disappeared. And she leans in and almost blows you off her palm when she says, what? Oh, I'm sorry. Who are you?
Iticus.
And I know it's early, but that has got to be where we drop the curtain on tonight. That was short, but there's no way we're beating that. Plus, I need a week to figure out what we're going to do
in the
now.
stairwell.
Wow. The five of you just standing on the top step, just.
Yeah.
Powering at all. She's not really scared.
No, you wouldn't
I'm gonna
be.
say
Yeah.
she's probably walked a bit closer.
Yeah, starting to step out. You guys are still completely unnoticed because there is only one spectacle in this room at this moment. And
Like Kane is
Bigford's-
moving. Kane's
Bigford's
gonna move
hanging from
into the
chair,
room.
Stair.
yeah,
He's like,
yeah, you're one stair down. Yet the rest of you are sort of spreading out into the room for sure. This makes perfect sense.
As Beowulf is walking, though, he's gonna say, in giant, just because.
Yeah.
How the hell does Iticus keep doing that?
Second time.
And chat, Thunderscape, I had to. There was no choice. There's so many times when I didn't let Fred work that there was no way it wasn't going to work here. I need a week to figure out, because you thought we went off plot when we were down that valley with the dragon. I need to figure out how to retool this entire encounter because of just what just happened. So this is awesome. So I got a week to do that, which is why we're stopping early. But thank you to everybody tonight. That was really cool. It's tough to blend parties together. It's also really tough to blend parties and then immediately split them and then bring them all back together again. It was a lot of fun. It was a good challenge for me.
welcome to us.
So thank you to everybody. I'm going to start with the regulars. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you.
Iticus, I knew it. A couple times tonight, I actually, like I said, I'm finally getting this. I finally went. I know what Iticus is going to say here. I know what's going to happen. Oh, thank you, Dak. I appreciate it 200 times. So thank you for Iticus. Appreciate it. We'll see you in a week. Bison, Bigford. I like this because Bigford's gone through all the phases. Worried new parent, not worried new parent, and now it's just, fuck it. What's he done now? Right, you're already at that point that when the phone rings and it's the school, it's like, oh, are they kicking him out? You know this.
The worry's still there
Yes. Yep.
because there's always so many things that can go wrong because
Yes.
he knows it's Iticus.
But you've also
But-
seen Iticus absolutely
murk the shit out of a room
overwhelm
full
any
of fire
problem that
giants.
they've caused. Yeah. So yeah, you're learning to keep your pulse rate down. It's
Yeah.
not necessary to worry about it, but you just can't help it. Oh, thank you. Next, Ruth Kane. It is so much fun watching you play this now too emotioned character. And not respond to all this stuff, because I kind of, especially in nights like tonight, it got emotionally loaded a couple times, and it was really cool to watch you stay in character and not let it sway Kane at all. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. You also
Yeah, of
notice how I
course.
included you in the regulars there? Yeah. Solar. Oh, the most regular of the regulars. You've been here since before day one. Thank you for everything. Thank you for Beowulf. We have changed Beowulf probably more times than we've changed Zulthus, and that's saying something. So
Yeah.
thank you for that. You
Yeah.
managed through all of those changes. The characters never change. We've just been finding the right way to describe them in game mechanics as we've gone along, and I think we're pretty happy with where we are now. So thank you.
We're doing really well. I'm liking it a lot.
Yep.
It's got that feeling. It's got that oomph now.
Yes, that one. This one's mine. This is one of mine. Yeah. Which brings us to our two new players, both of whom I hope can come back multiple times to at least finish off this arc, and then we'll see what happens after that. But let's start with Rory. First of all, welcome to Dirty 20. You had an idea, at least, of what you were getting yourself into, except I kind of think you didn't, because at one point tonight you said it's a whole different ball game live.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed yourself tonight.
Yeah, I did. Thank you for bringing me on. This is super fun.
Oh, no problem at all. Just wait till we get going. And that brings us back to Sky. It's a pleasure. It's always fun to run games for you. It was really fun for me tonight to watch you just relax and let the rules just sort of float away and just do what you wanted to do, and there was no fuss and there was no rolls, and you just sort of, bam, I got an undead and everything's good and we're just flying now. So I appreciate that. Thank you for I watched your shoulders just coming down the whole night as you just relaxed into it. So that is the best compliment I can get. I made you comfortable playing with us, so thank you for joining us.
Always. Thank you for having me.
Oh, two more thank yous. 1,200 hoots, hollers, bits, and squeals over there tonight. So thank you so much. That makes a difference. What you guys send over there and the subs and all that stuff basically pays for me to pay for Zoom and Roll20 and all that stuff. So I really appreciate it. It does make a difference. It means I eat slightly better than I would, so thank you. And finally, the YouTube people in the future watching this, when I remember to post it, I haven't posted last week's even yet, but I'll get on that tomorrow. But when I do post, when you do see it, go give it a watch. And when you get to the end, because you watched all the way to here, please hit the like button. And hit that subscribe button or the little bell, the notification bell at least, because otherwise you'll never know when I put it on there, because I don't have a plan or a reason. It just happens when somebody goes, hey, you didn't do it yet, like somebody did today. So that's all the thank yous. One more thing, one more message for next week. Friday, The Unwanted, as per usual, Dark, Nasty, and Cruel. We'll see where they end up. Saturday, no game. I am actually going to a barbecue. I'm going to go and have a party weekend. I'm going to be home Friday for the game, and then I'm going to go to bed, and I'm going to get up on Saturday and bugger off until sometime Sunday afternoon when I'm coming home for the other game. So there will be notices. Join the Discord because there's new games coming up. One-shots on Fridays, pretty much every Friday, every second Friday. Somebody already beat me to it. And also on Saturday, there is an upcoming, essentially an 8-shot. That's going to be very cyberpunk oriented. 2 of the seats are already taken because there just already are. So there'll be 2 or 3 more seats available for that. So pop into the Discord, go to the appropriate channel, and wait for the announcement, which should be up within the next 2 days. That's all the official stuff. Now for the important thing. The thing that I waited like an hour and 37 minutes to say, because it's the most important part of the whole damn night. Please, until next time, be nice to each other. Good night.
Night.